Should suggest that.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be hungry after this one. It's good to have a meeting.
Huh? Okay, all right.
I thought that was just a
Okay.
movie.
Alright,
So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Terry Kelly.
I'm Eric Hanfield.
I'm Emily Oreski.
Nathan Allen.
Stacy Beach.
Okay, so here's our app, our website. Let's go again. So we wanted to make a website where people could come in, create recipes, and then put them into groups, sort of like a cookbook. So you have all your categories that you can go into. When you're not logged in, you can come to our main page, and you can search up recipes based on like recipe name, like deviled eggs, or by ingredient. So if you just wanted eggs, and it'll bring up all the recipes that have eggs in the ingredients.
Look up pigeon knuckles.
And then down here's just a brief description of what the website is, why I use us, and then how to get started. So we're going to show you how to create an account.
Or you can search, I would search
You
for
just
lemon.
search pigeon.
So if you search for lemon, then it'll show up.
Lemon?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Me too. And if you click lemon right hide.
quick fish dish.
So when you're not logged in, you can see ratings, and you just see like comments and stuff from other people down here. Ingredients, just directions on how to do it. And when you want or create an account, so you hit join. We're gonna make one. Tim Cook.
Oh, you can cook. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Look Gordon Ramsay looking for that.
And once you create an account, it'll bring you to the login. So you can log back in and get logged in. And when you first make one, you always have a created recipes. So like, since we have none, I won't show any. Here's where you click to add group. So if you want to make desserts, breakfast, holiday, whatever. And then right here,
Create, okay, so, yeah, unlike Yumly or other sites like that, we allow our users to actually add their recipes into our site, so, we're gonna create a recipe. So you start off just by putting the name, how long it takes to make it, a little description about it, and what sort of, category it falls under. Did you bring any fudge?
I did.
Okay, let's add some ingredients. So we start off with one line of ingredients. Add your amount. Your measurement, and then we have our list of ingredients that you can choose from.
How long did it take you to add like the list of your ingredients?
Did you put all those in individually then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it. Oh,
Yeah, I think we did.
yeah.
Keep
No,
adding
you're
ingredients?
and
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, or FR.
FR.
Yeah, cancel project. Yeah, then you got to.
What would you do if you had a unique ingredient? Like, I wanted to add tree shavings.
Yeah, you would have,
I don't know.
you would have to contact admin for that. We don't want people adding
Okay.
whatever they want. So once you add you have your line ingredient, you want to add another line.
I don't know. I was too weird, man. I don't know.
we hit our add button, so it brings up another line. Add in your second ingredient. If for some reason you added too many lines, there's a remove button underneath, so that'll get rid of that line. Cheese curds. That'd be some awesome fudge.
Only Wisconsin.
Alright.
Cheese curds, cloves, and tree bark.
So yeah, so you can remove that line if that's not.
Oh, I just removed it.
That's a
Well,
good
you know
demo,
you
good
can
demo.
remove the line, darn
How it
it.
works.
Okay.
So that's the.
Oh, no. Yeah. Back to cheese curds.
That's right. Cheese curds is fine.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I must have hit remove before. Okay.
And we're good with.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
you can just.
Remove that.
Yeah. Stop there.
No.
I want it, okay.
Okay, so after you get your ingredients in there, then you want to add your instructions. So it kind of works the same way as with ingredients. So you add your instructions.
You probably don't need to do all of them.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
do
that's all right.
one.
So we
But it's
don't
the same with the plus sign.
say with the plus sign. You add your second line, third line.
Yeah.
You can remove it if you don't need it.
So what I noticed is that when I looked at the other ingredients that you had, or the other directions that you had, it was all numbered. Does that automatically number them then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll put it in order. So if you want to remove that line, it's easy.
Okay.
And then if we create it, it'll create our fudge recipe. So, and now if you ever want to go back and edit it, you can go back into edit and actually pull up all the things that we added to it. Or no, first it'll show what you have there. Yep, you can edit your name, description, duration, then we can edit our ingredients and directions if we want to as well.
And we can delete the whole
You can
thing.
delete the whole thing. So we're gonna check out dashboard.
So with the groups is you can either click the plus sign to add a group, or you can edit groups here, which will also allow you to create a new group. So if you wanted to create like a group of like dinner party, then it will show up on your dashboard like there. And then you can just go into a recipe, and then now that we're in like the login view, you can actually have like the rating system and you can add a comment. So, and then if it's your own comment, you can then delete it. You can't delete other users' comments. And then with the rating, you can rate it, and then the rating is on average, so the average of the 3 ratings is 3 stars. And then you can add a recipe to a group. And then so yeah, once you add it to a group, then you appear the group index, and then if you go back to dashboard, then it's there. And then with the dashboard, the background image is just a random image of a recipe that's in your group. And then if you go to a recipe that you didn't create, you're not able to edit or delete it. And then you can edit a recipe group. So if you want to change this to lunch party, then it changes there as well as there. And then you can also then remove it from a group if you want. And now you have no recipes in that group. And then we also have it where you can change your user settings. So if you change the first name, that's going to change up here. And then you can also change the password. And then it changes it there as well. And then this one's got just a bit more recipes to it. So your create recipe index looks a bit different because it's got the edit and delete, so you actually can just edit from that part. And then one thing that we added was a little calculator so that you can, because all the way that we had to do the fractions was to do like a 4 decimal save to the database in order for it to get displayed as a fraction. So if you did 7/8, it does the calculation for you, and then you can just update it here, and then it'll save it, and then it will display it as 7/8 right there. And then these are just examples of other kind of like recipe groups where you can just remove it from that as well. And then the other thing with it is we do have it where it's like the flex box, so if you shrink it, it looks fairly okay there, as well as here. And then we do have like the hamburger. You can do that.
Admin isn't extremely robust because we didn't use ASP.NET or anything. We just basically set up roles in a database on Azure DevOps. Basically, admin would log in and he has 2 features here. It's manage users and add ingredients. As you manage users, it's your standard edit, update, or delete. And it's going to have pretty much the same functionality that Emily showed earlier. You can click into the user's account, gives you their password and everything else. If you want, you can delete them. Pretty standard. Manage ingredients. Kind of went with the manage ingredients because we were originally going to pull in an API and do, all this stuff out of Yumly, but we had some difficulties with that. And to make sure we didn't have anybody just type in random things like pigeon knuckles and everything else. The thing that you would have to do if it's not in the ingredients list is you would have to contact the admin and request it be added. You can do that on this screen as well, and it would get added to that drop-down list that you've seen when they did the create recipe. And that's really it. We didn't implement like an email system, the identity thing and everything else. It was pretty basic stuff. Most of the work really went into the code on, the ingredient, creating the recipes and everything else. So that's pretty much how we got it.
So what was the hardest thing to implement?
Probably create recipes. On that one.
We spent a little bit of time on that.
Well, ideally, we were going to pull in, all kinds of API data from, Yumly, and, we were going to do, APIs for images and everything else. And I think kind of like some of these guys echoed, it sounded really easy on the front end until you had to sit down and do it.
Mm-hmm. We were getting a lot of partial data too. We were just getting like,
Yeah. So,
like 20 ingredients
Yeah.
at a time. So.
The fraction calculator was really nice.
That was really
Smart.
nice.
The ability to add lines dynamically and then send that to the database and have them saved separately is pretty impressive too. I couldn't figure out how to implement that.
Yeah, it's cloning through jQuery, and I would suggest never doing that.
He pulled it off, and it looks perfect. I mean, and for a user interface, I mean, that's usability, you know, and even the back end, how you did the grouping and pulling the images, I mean, just the small things, you know, really add a lot to that site. So, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, what's your favorite recipe?
Pigeon apple. It's in there.
What
Yeah,
is
it's in there,
Pigeon
isn't it?
Apple?
If you go to Pigeon Apples,
Yeah,
it'll show
search.
you. I guess.
Have a feeling for you.
Oh, yeah.
No image.
Still slew the chili pepper and 5 cloves of venison.
That's a tough one.
So that was just a test.
How much is it for?
Well, good work, you guys.
All right, I don't think I need anything else from you guys. There was no timesheet this last week.